Hey, Chris.
Long time no see, buddy.
Yeah, buddy, it's been a while.
Yeah.
So what's going
What's
on?
shaking?
Huh. Well, we're in like a little bit of a chinook here in Calgary. We had a cold week last week, and we get like a winter storm coming. So apparently we get like minus 17, 20 coming up. So batten down the
Oh,
hatches,
crazy.
and I bought some heated gloves, which is how I can get through the dog walks.
Have we become too
Yeah.
soft?
So I considered this. I'm like, I've never required heated gloves, my whole life. Um, I'm like, what's wrong with me?
Getting old. Getting old. The veins shrink. The phalanges need heat. And just the passive insulation isn't enough. Not
Yeah.
in the age of cheap batteries. You know?
Yep. It's just too easy. It's too easy to buy it. It's not like that expensive, you know. The technology's been around for a long time now that like it doesn't suck. Yeah. Um,
I know the feeling, man. Um, I have a heated steering wheel for the first time in my life, and
ooh. Okay.
hard to go back.
So my motorcycle has heated hand grips. So I've had that for years, and that's lovely. It makes riding a lot better when it's just a little nippy out.
And you can feel the heat through your riding gloves, or you
Oh
just
yeah.
ride with bare hands at that point.
You can do either, but I through the riding gloves totally can feel the heat. And I mean, it's your control surfaces, so it's a good place to be warm. Um, yeah, I remember riding in like a rainy weather without like waterproof boots from Revy one year, and that was the one thing that got me through it. I was soaked to the bone, and my hands were warm. And that was good. But yeah, you know what? I was,
Nice.
I was, I was. I mean, I think the fact that like dog walking requires you to take your hands out of your gloves and like occasionally pick up some poop and feed some treats. That makes it nice to put your glove back on.
Isn't this shit warm?
It is warm. It is warm. It's toasty on the snow. Steam
Totally.
inducing. So, okay, wait. I didn't realize you had top end earbuds in your ears. I was always, I'm used, you know what? I've been psychologically told that if they're not white looking and like this, they're cheap garbage pair. And I don't know why I thought that. What are you
First
rocking
of
in your
all,
ears, buddy?
that's because you and millions of others are Apple's sheep, which is why it's a $4 trillion company or whatever it's worth.
That's definitely true. Apple sheep.
I
Yep.
mean, you know why they're worth so much is because their margins are so good, which means like for $300, you're getting half the product. I mean, most of it is just margins. Like it's not worth that much.
So I, I switched over to AirPods like 7 years ago, just because at the time I didn't find any ones that fit my ears well. And like I kept
Oh,
having
I don't.
like buds fall out, and it just didn't.
I mean, I don't care. I honestly don't care why. I'm just saying, as a good consumer, you should be buying products where like the companies really aren't making that much money, right? They're
Totally,
like, oh
I
man,
get
we
the
keep
concept. I
putting
knew I was
putting
getting
back
ripped off buying
customers.
them, but what I'm trying to figure out is what are those, and maybe I should buy those. Is kind of what I'm trying to figure out. Because
Yeah, I have
dude, yeah.
Sony
Ah.
XM5s. This is my fuck. It's my third pair of Sonys this year. I can't seem to make them last more than several months. But I think it's like the cases, they're so, and I blame Apple for this. Like they're all smooth and shit. They fucking just roll out of your pockets, man. Like it's so slippery.
Yeah, you think they would
And
have like a carabiner hook or something to like grab or attach or whatever.
I think what happened is I left them in the last hotel I was in Frankfurt. And I just noticed like 2 hours ago because I had a meeting in my hotel room. So I knew they were in my ears and they were out, right? Then I check out and then I go and was like, fuck, go back to reception. And I was like, oh, I think I left my earbuds in your room. And of course, like minimum wage housekeeping isn't gonna say they found it, right? There's like a 50% chance they're just like, oh, we didn't see anything. And then they just keep them. Not saying that's what happened, but I also wouldn't be surprised if that is what happened. Because I'm just like, when the fuck did I lose these? So I would say the only downside is like AirPods have like the Find My AirPods feature, which like maybe they're worth double what their manufacturing cost is just on that alone and being in the ecosystem. But I would say like these have the best active noise canceling in the game and uh, some like above average sound quality also.
I mean, the Find My phone, Find My AirPods feature is good, if you want to find your AirPods around the house. But if you lose them in the wild, it doesn't really help you because
Oh,
it doesn't help you because um you can't get them back if somebody steals them. So I've watched my AirPods like in Harvest Hills that I lost previously just
yeah.
exist for like 2 months, And I'm just like, oh God, I think you live here, but what am I gonna do? Go
That's
knock
what
on
it
your door,
that's the next software feature, dude. They should just call the cops for you.
So the one thing they did do, like they did, is that like for a phone, you can like turn it off or whatever. You can prevent it from being
Yeah,
accessed. But for AirPods, they didn't. You can still pair them. You know,
they're still
um,
too simple. So you
they
need like
they
okay,
almost did it
so
on
they need
purpose. I don't know.
fingerprint sensor on the case, like an unlock, and just be like, "You're not my owner." And then maybe that's actually like a
I
decent
think Apple
invention because I
knows they want
imagine,
them. They want them to be lost. They don't care. Yeah,
yeah, that's smart too. Like unreplaceable batteries and unupgradable memory.
yeah. But I think it's still wicked cool that they're Find My Phone network. I'm still in awe of that working so well. Like that it actually has a great
Just network
triangulation.
effect.
Yeah, just network
Yeah.
effect, right? Tons of iPhones out there. But even the fact that it's low battery usage, because that used to be always a problem, right? Like devices would die if they had like any kind of
Do they
on sensing, right?
do they make it fair, as I imagine they should? Like if you don't participate in it, you also don't get to find your phone. Like your phone also has to help other people find their phones. Because that
Uh,
would be what's fair, right?
that's funny. I don't think you could opt out. This is a no opt out concept.
Mm.
Um, Yeah, but I think it's still wicked. I mean, like Lyric has an AirTag on her, which has been helpful. I don't know. The update rate is like every minute, right? Like it's not like it's every
Pretty
50,
good.
which is amazing. So like I don't know how these are operating for like,
Someone somewhere had to like choose that update rate because it can be faster. And they're just like, okay, we need to be like Adil finds his neurotic dog versus like jealous ex-boyfriend kills his girlfriend because it's down to the second. And like some $500,000 earning Apple engineer was like, what is the right refresh rate on, you know, the Find My AirPod feature?
So I'm a ridiculous person because I have AirPods, AirTags. Okay, I have an AirTag in my wallet. I have an AirTag on my keys, and I have an AirTag on Lyric. But I don't know if you remember or not. I don't have an iPhone. Um,
How does that work though? Does it cross device compatible?
uh, it's it's not. My Android can't use Find My iPhone. So I use an iPad that's on my bookshelf whenever I lose my shit.
Bro,
Um, yeah.
dude, but maybe that's the answer, right? It's like, like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator. It's like you can find people, but since like you don't have a phone, you can only find people when you want to find them.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a
And then
predator that way. You know what? But
and then if you're an Android, you're just painted in mud, like they can't see you.
the problem is it outs you. It outs you if you have a. So the concept is, um, if there's an Apple device, especially an AirTag, that hasn't talk to its owner in like
Mm.
2 days, right? Or 3 days or something like that, it turns into stalker mode, right? And it's like, hey, everybody around me, I'm stalking you. If it follows you, it follows you for too long, it lets everybody know you're following you. So that happens to all my friends. And
Yeah,
that's,
that's kind of smart too. Stalker alert!
yeah.
Where's my owner?
I heard iPhones got not broken the other day, but Google was able to do AirDrops now on their OnePlus. So I think they broke that code, and I think that's because of Europe. Um, Europe
Well,
changed.
OnePlus is a different brand altogether.
Wait,
Google
sorry,
has a
sorry, sorry, not
Pixel.
OnePlus. What's the Google One? Is that what it's called? No, Google. No, no, it's Note.
It's a
Sorry,
Pixel.
Pixel. Maybe it's Pixel. One of the Google brands can now AirDrop to Apple devices, which wasn't allowed in the past. And that's
Mm.
because um, I think the EU privacy law forced Apple to like change how they write their code, and then it was just public, so they're able to do it. It's kind of
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It also gave us USB-C, like they
Yeah,
because the iPhones here have you
that's
can't use the Apple thing anymore.
awesome, actually.
But I was reading a stat though, and I didn't back up. I didn't look with my own eyes to see if this was true, but I could definitely believe it. It's like the EU made more money fining tech companies than they did collecting taxes from tech companies. Like all they do here is regulate, you know. Try not to go to the rant where nobody can do business here. But um, yeah, so it's like they collected more in like fines and like data protection laws than like actual people doing business here.
Wow.
So,
Huh. I guess that's their one leverage point. That's interesting. Um,
but speaking of complaining, I was over in the embassy of Canada in Berlin yesterday, and like the ambassador and the trade commissioning team was like asking me and some other people like what are the challenges of doing business in Germany, and I literally just have like never interacted with like the diplomat crowd. Like I'm just like I don't belong here. 'Cause it was hard to actually say things politely to be like this country's totally broken and I don't actually want to be here or run a business here to the trade commission. So kind of crazy. That was a fun experience though.
that's cool. They're soliciting some feedback. Um, Interesting. But I mean, what can they do? Isn't it? Isn't this like a Germany problem? This isn't a Canadian embassy.
Well, they have the trade commission, so they can like influence the German government and
Oh,
like they
interesting.
talk to their own counterparts and stuff, and they help like Canadian businesses set up here and like make connections if like Canadian companies want to expand into Germany. Super helpful though. Like I was like, hey, can you connect me with like the Austrian and Romanian counterparts you guys have?
Ooh,
And they
cool.
sent me contacts like the exact same day. Kind
Ooh,
of wild.
that's a good hookup that they know all the other counterparties. You're right.
It
Huh.
felt very much like Jason Bourne. Be like, wow, I got home bases now.
Nice. Very cool.
It's kind of sick. Kind of interesting to see where all our tax dollars go. I had a very swanky lunch that was obviously paid for by the Canadian taxpayer somehow,
Nice.
where they like cut the food into like maple leaves. And I'm like, well, that's hard to do. There's a lot of edges on the leaf logo. And it's like a
Wow.
carrot.
That's cool. Damn.
Yeah, it was fun.
So were you in
The,
a were you in a part of where were you? In your city or in the
no, the embassy's in Berlin.
in Berlin? Got it,
I know
got it.
you
So
don't have a map,
I know, I
but
know. I assume you were in an embassy district of sorts, like there was a bunch of embassies around there. Is that right?
yeah.
And
Hmm.
was it kind of a different kind of feeling? Like I noticed, like when I was lost in Korea with my dad who lost his passport, and I stayed in the Seoul embassy district, and I just thought it was cool. It just had a cool vibe. I think
I
it's
think
just
they're like the best buildings, and they always have like the hidden security features you never see.
Totally.
I think it was really cool as I was like looking out the window where we were eating, and I was just like, oh, it's super nice, but it's probably like all bulletproof glass, you know?
Totally. It's all compounds,
Yeah.
kind of hidden compounds that are kind of disguised, and they look like they have like back entrances and stuff. It definitely has a
Mhm.
whole bunch of interesting features.
And then I was wondering if I was just being invited into the embassy, like Shaggy style, so they would want to kill me. But then, like, why would anyone want to kill me?
That's terrifying. That's terrifying. But yes.
Yeah, but like they can't touch you there. And it's really funny. I had just had this thought today. Berlin is the only place where institutions have taken their phones off of me. And it was either a nightclub or the Canadian embassy. And aren't they really just two sides of the same coin where you can't film what's going on?
That's funny. Yeah. Where they confiscate your, okay, I don't know what it was, but they confiscate your phone at a nightclub and put it in a pouch like a Dave Chappelle show. Is that what they do?
Sometimes they'll make you turn it off, or they'll, yeah, or some will just put like a sticker on your cameras.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
And then
funny.
obviously, if you're seen with your phone out, like they're on top of you
God, yeah.
quick.
Wow, that's a cool policy. I like that. I didn't realize that one up I've seen. Huh. Very cool. But how you been otherwise? I mean, we haven't talked in a while.
Yeah, it's been busy, mostly just consumed with work. We had our big press release last Friday. I've been kind of been I'm like LinkedIn hot, as you know. So I've been kind of like basking in that attention. Yeah, because I did like an interview that was like pretty popular, and then like obviously we made it into the Wall Street Journal and stuff like that. And I would say like having this podcast is actually helpful if you need to do authentic interviews on the fly because it just helps your speaking and your ranting, and you can, talk into a camera and kind of just like ignore it. Not that you and I were really bad at that, but I find like even doing this is helpful to keep those skills fairly sharp. And then I had, yeah, my corporate party, first time doing it as a managing director. I like to think because I'm the same guy everywhere I go, it wasn't much different, but like obviously was like expected to do a speech, like thanks for a great year, blah, 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 all that stuff. So I felt a little bit of nervousness because it was like a room of like 60 people, and it's like your coworkers that like not even your coworkers. It's actually not your coworkers. A friend of mine told me like actually Chris, they're like your staff. They're not your coworkers. And everybody's just like mingling, and then I took like, a wine bottle and had to like ring it to be like, I want to talk. And I think like the 5 seconds before ringing it, I had like 1 out of 10 nervousness. It was really nothing but us because I hadn't rehearsed anything or anything like that. So
Did you pass the mic to anybody else to do a
yeah, I
few
did.
words? Got it. That's smart.
Yeah. Because I think there's some people. I guess we got it out of our systems early with like Dragon's Den and stuff. Like some people, they feel thankful to be given the spotlight, right? So I'm like very generous with that. I'm just like, dude, I don't need it. If you want to get up and speak for a few minutes, then go ahead. So I pass it on to like one of the other like top leaders, and they wanted to say a few things. So
What did you do for your party? Like, where was it?
we just booked out a restaurant,
So,
open bar, blew the budget. Fuck, it's
nice.
11,000 euros, I think.
Damn, nice party. You know what? So I've been throwing. I've kind of been in charge of Christmas parties for the last like 8 years of like businesses.
Fun, right?
Fairly fun. I've had a whole bunch of different wacky ones from like locked room, um, Christmas parties where everybody got way too intoxicated, and
Those are the
it,
best ones.
I mean, substantially intoxicated, and it was comical. It got pretty wild. Um, Yeah, but it's been fun. I've kind of learned how they work. But for my software company, blockchain company, it was weird because I had to throw remote Christmas parties, which was kind of whack. I mean, sometimes we get
That's a remote
together,
party.
but no, you know what? I found how to throw a remote party reasonably well, where it was, I would say like 50 or 60% as good as a real party. Like that wasn't completely terrible. And I've had to throw a bunch of like lunches that way, and I've learned how to do it where it doesn't completely suck like most
Or you're
corporate.
just being lied to and they're literally telling you it's good when it's not. How
I
can it
don't
be as
believe
good
it.
as
I don't
literally
believe. I
eating?
feel like they were fun. I feel like they were fun. I think I got a knack for it. I understand how it works. Um, I mean, there's a way to do it. You can make a remote party fun. I think the key is you have to have activities. You have to have online activities that are enjoyable. And there's some out there that are actually like dope. So like I don't know if you've ever heard of like um, I rented this BattleBot game, okay, and it's a real life BattleBot in Winnipeg that's in an arena, and you control it with your computer, and we all got to control BattleBots. And this is ridiculous. This is a video game, but you're controlling a BattleBot in real life, right? Shooting at each other. I can't believe this exists. I was shocked that it even exists. It's a great
How do you think the US has been bombing weddings in Afghanistan for
uh,
2 decades?
practice, I guess. Yeah, that was fun. I think it's about activities. I mean, the last party I threw, we did it in the metaverse, which is stupid, but we did it. We totally did it. I rented an art gallery in the metaverse from a buddy I met, and it just had all our art on the wall, and it was just like a mingling affair. And it was interesting. It was
I
different.
think I'm old school, man. It's like anytime we do anything, it's just like, can we just get everyone together in a
Of
nice
course.
place,
I
dress
mean,
up well, and get fucked up?
the problem is if
So,
your team is in like 10 cities, you know, you can do it if for like half the people, right? But for half people, they just don't want to go. They have plans. They don't want to go to your city.
oh, I think you just fly them.
No,
Yeah.
no, you fly. You even if you tell them all paid expenses. A lot of software people who are used to working at home all day don't want to go. Like their conversation with me is just like, I don't want to go. Can I not go? Yeah.
Right.
I think on average you find like remote companies, you get a lot more introverted people who just don't want to be forced to. So unless you can authentically say you have to come because we're going to make actual good work progress. And if I can't say that authentically, I can't do it. It just doesn't work. So, I mean, if
Oh
we're having a
man.
summit with, proper things, I see it happening, but I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe it's the industry. I just would have such a hard time working with people like that.
It's harder. It's definitely a different flavor. I agree. I would rather be all in person. I'm a return to work. I'm a return to office kind of person, actually. I would rather we all return to the office. I don't like the work from home as much as I do the
I'm the
office.
most generous dictator out there. Like I have a full do whatever you want policy. Like I actually just abandoned hybrid when I took over this job. I was like, I will personally be in the office like 5 days a week, but anyone can do whatever they want for now.
Ooh,
But
that's
I'm with you
interesting.
too.
Doesn't I find
Just
that
lead by example. Give
uh,
people the choice, but lead by example. And it's just like,
that's a good point.
if the office isn't fun, that's kind of on me, right?
Totally. Yes.
So,
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like on average people will stay home if you let them though. Especially if
well,
the
the
commutes are
average
hard.
workplace sucks ass.
One more
Yeah.
time?
Well, the commute's hard, then it's like, okay, well, then make the office, that's your challenge as a leader to make the office worth it.
Totally. You're right. Yeah. Yep.
Because, like, if I'm with certain people that I want to work with, I want to go in and hang out with them too, right? And, like, so there's certain people who do it for me. I was reading like a new thought experiment, though. Have you heard of George Mack?
No, I haven't.
Seems like a pretty sharp guy that, like, even top people listen to. But he, first of all, he wrote an essay back in March, which I just discovered. called high agency. And it's like, what do high agency people do? Well, they're not victims, right? They go and like get what they need. And it's hilarious because his essay on high agency, he got the domain name highagency.com. He's like, what's the most high agency thing I can do to like release this essay? It's pretty amazing.
Nice.
But the thought experiment was like, if you find yourself trapped in a third world prison and you only get one phone call, who is that person that you would call to like get you out? And it's just like, I can maybe name less than five people that I would call. And it's just like, I think if you want to build anything successful, you better have like those type of people working with you, you know?
Damn. That's a tough thought experiment. Wow. That is not easy at
I like to
all.
think that I'm that person for at least a couple of people,
You're on my
especially with my
list.
new Canadian embassy contacts.
Okay, I don't know why um people call their mom, I think, at the
That's a
top of
waste
their
of
list.
time. That's a waste of that's
And
unless your mom is fucking
as much as
Liam Neeson.
without
Like
question, on average, most moms are not going to be like Liam Neeson quality type of people, right? But
I actually think
there's
they'll be below average.
but the difference is like on average, your mom might like persevere over years. Like when you get trapped by like Somali pirates, and um, you don't have an obvious exit. Maybe I don't know. I read a story about a guy who it sounded like he called his mom, and um, your mom's gonna call the cops, I guess, and the government, and eventually
That's a good point. Okay, so you have like perseverance of a mom because like it's the person who cares the most, but they probably have like
the
an
least skills,
average amount of
possibly average
ability.
skills, whatever. Right? Yeah, yeah, totally.
Okay, so that's a very interesting matrix, right? It's like who would care the most and who could do the most, and your
Correct.
mom clearly would care the
Care the
most,
most. Care the most. Just
right?
perseverance over years, right? Like, somebody who would keep fighting for their, alleged murderer son in jail for 15 years, and then finally, you get him out because, there was just
Yeah,
perseverance there, right? But then there's the person who like could dig the tunnel to break you out, right? Like, so,
absolutely.
yeah,
Interesting. Interesting.
I don't know, tough one.
Never thought about the mom answer.
Yeah,
Well, we can't all hire our moms in our business, so
no.
yeah, it was a fun experiment.
Huh. One of my friends is thinking about um, opening up a thrift store. Okay, not a thrift store, like a vintage store. Um, and I thought it was an interesting thought experiment. So this person I know doesn't need the money, doesn't need it to be perfectly profitable, but sounds like they want to, buy themselves a job. And that was interesting to kind of rekindle our vintage Christmas sweater roots and think about what it'd look like. Um, yeah, I don't know. Do you shop vintage there, Chris? Do you own any
Not
clothes that
really.
are vintage shoes, shirts, nothing? Interesting. I think,
Why don't I though? I'm not against it. I'm not against it, but it's like I don't have the lifestyle of first of all, I don't have like a thrifting habit where I like try and go find deals. And then it's like the average piece of clothing isn't really made for me, right? Like I live in a North American white man's world. So it's like, when like they give they do giveaways and you just get like a double XL hoodie. You're just like, okay.
yep, got
So
it. That's an interesting one. Fit matters. Yeah, you're right. That
I would say I'm not against it, but I've also never gone out of my way to like make it happen.
got it. Interesting. Yeah. My hesitations on it are, yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm an excessive thrifter or vintage kind of person, but I've kind of seen the world a bit. I gotta say, like in Vancouver, it felt like it was more it was more trendy to go thrifting. Their thrifting stores were just way busier and with way more younger people. It felt fun to go there. I feel like in Calgary, a lot less so. I mean, crazy Halloween costumes or Christmas sweaters is one thing, but all year kind of like looking for outfits was a different kind of mindset.
I would do like actually no, I have a pair of used sunglasses.
Ooh, interesting. What's the
It's
story
like
behind them? Where did you get them?
high-end luxury store. Yeah, it was like a one of the old it was a high-end thrift store that was in Inglewood. Can't remember the name of it.
Okay.
And saw a pair of sunglasses in there that I liked, so I bought them.
Are your watches new?
Yeah. But I would also go secondhand for watches as well,
Yeah.
actually.
So maybe
I mean,
you're
I buy used cars, so at some point, what's thrifting and what's just used? I don't know.
totally, totally. Yeah. She was looking at a lease in Bridgeland on a second floor because it's existing. It's an existing consignment store, and man, I gotta say, like second floor businesses in Calgary are bad. They're
I would never.
really bad.
Dude, I went to the same place. I'd be like, I would absolutely not do a second floor, especially for a clothing shop where you like need the walk by display to be like, hey, that looks cool. You're
Yeah,
completely losing the picture window advertising
totally,
aspect. Would
totally.
never.
Yeah. That's my first gut instinct as well. My gut instinct says that like ruins walk by traffic. I think Calgarians don't like climbing stairs. They just don't want to do it. Um,
And I think just people, especially on the clothing shop, is like it's like impulse buy. It's like, hey honey, let's go in there. And then the guy like rolls his eyes and whirls in with her.
yeah,
Like you need that.
yeah, you kind of need that. Yeah. No, I don't know. I think that's an interesting one. I don't know. All of them exist on 17th Ave for a reason. Like all of them are in either,
Foot traffic,
foot traffic,
100%.
foot traffic
Yeah.
matters. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder
Yeah.
if you can build it though. If you like have enough of a little bit of a network and you throw events and you're a little trendy. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure. I noticed
I think you need to do it.
sorry, go ahead.
It's a lot of active upkeep. I think you might be able to do it if you had super strong social media game and built hype around like certain pieces, or if you were like able to get things that were like super rare, like certain Rolexes, for example, which are like really hard to find.
Yeah. Yeah, certain high end stuff if you have the capital to do it. I can see that too.
Yeah. But if you're just trying to sell like fucking, I don't know, Lululemon pants, which like
Yeah.
people recognize the brand and they're like resaleable, but just like no one's really gonna get out of bed for that to save like 30 bucks, right? You need it so like people feel like their time is not like the delta from that to buying new is too small,
Hmm. I,
right?
I would I would say this one person I know, she has one edge is that she's thrown events before really well. And I think that might be an edge that she has. Like she
I
has
would
like
run that store with that person.
yeah, like
If
she
she would hold men's stuff, I'd be like, okay, well here's what rich people care about.
yeah. I think she has a chance. I hope she does it. It just sounds like I think it'd be fun. It'd actually be fun, and it's nice to have people who
It'd
run
be
that
fun
stuff.
to be like taste making, to be like, hey, I got a thing, or like, here's a thing that's good that like people didn't realize it's good, and it's fun a little bit to like push that on them, you know?
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. I kind of hope she does it. Um, what was
It's
I thinking
a.
about?
Do you think it makes money though, or is it just love of the game? I think it's love of the game,
Love
right?
of the game. Love of the game. Man, I've been thinking about this for a while, like on what businesses really, kill it. Um, I don't think I don't think margins exist like of huge numbers unless you're first into an industry. If you're first in your city or first into an industry, you can really kill it. And if you're part of a fad cycle, you can really kill it. But then otherwise, from my understanding, margins increase on how shitty the work is. Like if you're pumping out porta potties, yeah, your margin's good. You know, if
Hmm.
you're doing garbage delivery slash pickup stuff, yeah, your margins are good. Like the things on sucky tasks, plumbing, you know, garage door repair, like there's a lot of things
Did you
that
see,
make money, but they're not enjoyable to do.
did you see my business proposition on car seat cleaning?
I think I did. I think you used AI to make it. I kind of skimmed it, but I didn't. I didn't take it seriously as something I would want to do, but I believe it works. Yeah,
I think none of us could do it. I think if I wanted to spin up a company in a year that was like mediocre, could definitely be done just for like side cash.
yeah. I'm.
But
My
it's in that
discovery is
shitty
trying
job.
to find something bigger, something that's like bigger than me, and I don't know what that is. You know,
Mm.
but it's not just that. The other big factor is something that's enjoyable, which is rare. Yeah, I don't know. Like my intuition is, okay, I'm
I
gonna
would I would
install my.
say
Go ahead.
big and having done it, like I would say big and enjoyable is super hard because like if you're trying to go big, you gotta like take money from people and then that sucks because then you just end up being the slave of the person who gave you money. Like it's really hard to do big and enjoyable
Totally,
unless you're like Elon, I guess. But I'm sure even Elon's had bad days where he's like, "Fuck my investors."
definitely. Yeah, you gotta have a thick skin. I don't know. I'm hoping that my house reno turns into something that I consider opening. Like I don't know. Okay, my two trains of thought, which I don't think are gonna work out, but you never know. After I install solar on my roof, I was like, you know what? I could start a solar company. It wouldn't be that hard to be a solar seller and installer. And the only hesitation I have is I don't think it'll be fun, but my intuition is the margins are probably decent. You know,
I don't think it's fun at all. That doesn't sound fun whatsoever.
doesn't sound fun.
What are you
The other,
doing exactly? Just
uh,
wiring through people's attics? Like, I don't know.
I mean, my intuition is you'd hire a team and you wouldn't really have to do all the work yourself, but you'd have to start it yourself, no question about it. Like you'd have to be the person doing a lot of it to start, and then you'd learn how to scale it. But I don't think it sounds that fun. The other one, which I thought maybe might be more up my alley, would be this sounds more up my alley. This sounds like something I think I would enjoy, but I'm not completely sure. Is um, opening an outdoor spa, I think, is up my alley. And because I'm creating a tiny spa in my house, maybe I'll learn how to do it, you know?
Why does it have to
And
be outdoors?
um doesn't. Um I just thought that'd be fun. I
What
thought
about what
like
about urban hot tub bar that we thought about? I still kind of I have no idea if it's legal or not, but it's just like why can't we recreate après ski on 9th Ave, 17th Ave, and skip the skiing part and just like you hang out in a hot tub with your friends and someone serves you. Is it the drinking and swimming thing that like will never pass actual muster or like but like that's like the fun part of skiing is that socializing, right?
interesting. So it's outdoor hot tub bar. Like there's four hot tubs. And
Yeah.
there's this is an interesting
You
idea. Okay,
just
let's
rent
let's
you
walk
rent
through
it like
this.
you would rent a table and then you still have to pay for all your booze and shit. But it's like, hey, you guys want to go chill in a hot tub bar for a couple hours? Like rough day at work. You hang out with like six friends.
This is better than I remembered it. Okay, this is getting better. I can totally see this now. Totally can see it. So it'd have
Yeah.
to be. Would you want it on an uncovered patio? Is that would be the ideal? So you could have like snowfall. Like, do you want the snowfall or do you want it covered?
I think it just needs to be outside. I think you would go pergola. Is
Yeah,
that the right way to pronounce it? I never had to say that word.
no, it's that word.
Pergola? Pergola?
Pergola. I'm gonna go pergola. I'm gonna go pergola. That's my bet, but I'm not sure.
Word I've only ever read.
Um,
Um,
yeah,
yeah. And so, okay, hot tub is like 10K. You rent it out for like,
I got my
fuck,
hot tub
what
for
would you
like
rent it out
5K,
for?
by the way. But yes,
Well, we get the nice ones.
Mine's
Um,
nice. Mine's nice. Just come from the source.
you rent it out for like $60 an hour, maybe. Like, so like everyone going there just pays 10 bucks, $10 an hour on top of their bill, 10 or $15 an hour on top of their bill, and you get to fucking just chill out. And then they kind of self clean because you just chlorinate the shit out of them. Like, there's almost no turnover, right? It's like your hour's done, you have like a 5 minute buffer, the next group comes in, they just see a hot tub. No one cares that it's still hot. It's not like a toilet seat. It's not like you came too soon. So you almost have no reset time. Yeah.
I think it's a cool idea. I think it actually has some good merit. Um, I think you want a tiny like. Okay, you want great change rooms, of course, and then you want um, maybe you want like robes so people can get out of their hot tub and be cozy still, and like some like fireplaces. I think you want like a transition between an outdoor area and an indoor area, and then like
Ooh,
waterproof flooring that kind of like keeps everything
amazing.
happy.
And then the name of the restaurant is called Apres. Done deal. With
Interesting.
the little thing over the E.
Interesting. Yeah, it's a cool idea. I like it. I really like it. I think it's actually totally new and novel. I wonder if it exists anywhere in the world. Um,
It must. But who cares? It doesn't exist in Calgary. And if
does
there's
exist in
one
Calgary.
beauty about Calgary, there's like a lot of rich bored people. Like literally, they'll do anything that's like remotely interesting.
Does it have to be in a good area of town? Can we be like in Brewery District? Like, can we
No,
be?
I think you want to. I think I would want to have people see me
So
and
you want to
make
be
it would make
70th
me
Ave
feel
walkable
cool.
street?
It would make me feel cool to be there and like they weren't there. Like especially if it was like 2 p.m. and then you see like your coworkers, they're like getting their socks wet going to a meeting and you're like, "What's up, Jones? That sucks. Like I'm in here."
Yeah, that is an interesting one.
Yeah. Or sales guys could rent it and have like their business meeting in there. Be like, hey, instead of lunch, why don't we, grab a beer at the old Apres there, and let's close out this deal.
Yeah, interesting.
And all you would need are like 6 hot tubs
Yeah,
and
six
like
hot
a
tubs.
permit.
I don't see why it wouldn't be against liquor policy. I think it's fine. I think it's
I think
totally
we're
fine.
so stingy about liquor in Canada. Like,
I think it's possible. We got away with axe throwing and liquor. I think it's okay. I think it's on the fringes.
also true.
Yeah.
So you're like fully licensed, or
Yeah, we were fully licensed.
no? That's
Um,
wild. Okay.
the rule was like there was an axe throwing zone and a drinking zone. So like, but they were next to each other, right? Like you put your beer
Yeah.
down and then you throw an axe and you come back.
That's like that would like blow like a European's mind, right? They're like, what? You mean I can't drink anywhere the fuck I want?
Definitely. You guys are so used to drinking everywhere. I'm kind of shocked that we didn't. I don't know if this is true, but there's no injuries, you know, from axe throwing. Surprising there isn't
Bro,
any like something substantial, right? But I gotta say, from all of what I've experienced, archery was more dangerous, and that zombie race was more dangerous. Like both those things were fucking dangerous, but not axe
I
throwing,
think people are
surprisingly.
just not that stupid once you give them credit for not being morons. It's like this whole tram platform thing, man. It's like, dude, just make people cross the street. The tram just stops in the middle of the street. People cross 2 lanes of traffic fucking every day.
Totally.
It's just one more time. And then there's no platforms. A stop is literally anywhere you feel like it makes sense that the tram should open its doors.
Yeah, I agree. I like that mindset.
Yeah. I'm
Huh.
interested in this thrift store. It's like a bakery for me, man. Like it feels like it'd be fun if it worked out right. You'd be like the cool person. It's like, hey, what do you do? It's like, oh shit, I run like a trendy gift store or thrift store, and obviously I also have like a beautiful coffee machine in it, and I do some vinyl listening events from time to time because I'm fucking cool.
Yep.
So it just seems like it has a high potential for you to be like the coolest person your friends know, you know?
Yep. I think there is a definite chance. I think it's cool. Making money, that's a hard concept, but making a lot of money, making something, yeah, totally possible. I was thinking about it, like I've noticed. What did I notice the other day? There's a coffee shop. I don't know if you remember um, Katie from mechanical engineering. You know who that is? Her and her
Eh,
husband opened up a coffee shop on Center Ave. You know what I'm talking
no.
about? It's called Sought and Found. Um, have you ever been there? No, you
Okay.
don't. And
No.
they just opened up their second location, but that took
Okay.
them 7 years, like to do it. And I think coffee does make money, but it's not that easy to do. Like it's not that easy to grow and scale. But the
It's a
exception to that rule
commodity.
is if you work hard at it, I swear you can actually capture part of a city because you have a unique, um, great, efficient way of doing things. And I think they do a great job. Like they have a cut above, you know, basic coffee. And I think about it like Lena's. Lena's used to have one location and now they have like six. And I think you just exist in Calgary for 20 years and you can actually scale to six locations. Like it's totally possible where you're actually worth a lot more. But it takes a long time. It's not a fast, easy thing. So I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if I have the patience for it, but I think if you were like a hardcore coffee person, I mean, it's absolutely doable. Absolutely doable. I think people are looking for like places where they can feel cool. So you'll always hear like, "Hey, want to meet here? I know a cool coffee place." Like people just want to feel like they're maybe like onto something that others haven't fully picked up on yet, right? They want to feel special. So it's like very customer centric and it's like you're selling like an emotion. And it's generally that emotion is like my customers feel cool when they're here. Everybody wants to just feel cool. I think I'm quite certain of it.
Yeah. No, no, I think that's interesting. I think I think it's great for them to grow, and it's great if you can scale a business. And you can build a place that actually is fun and customers actually like it. Tough to do though.
I've had so much mulled wine in the last few weeks here because
Yeah,
it's like
German
Christmas.
Christmas, right?
Why can we bring that to Canada?
It does exist here. Um, so
Where? Like
uh,
barely?
it totally exists here. Christmas markets are a total thing in Calgary. They're not as big as Vancouver or obviously Germany. I've been to a few. Spruce Meadows has a good one. Um,
It's so far. How are you supposed to drive and then drink
yeah, I know,
four
I know.
cups of hot wine there?
Yep. It definitely doesn't create. Okay, Calgary, I don't believe Calgary has the young people Christmas market. The one where it's where you actually, drink your face off. Um, that doesn't exist here. It's always family, kids driven, kind of Christmassy. Yeah. And you go for one drink, maybe two.
Bro, I was
Um,
out last night and I mean first of all, it's people of all ages. So it's like, okay, is it possible to bring back where it's like only cool people go out on weeknights or like sub 40s? Like it's just everybody. And it was quite packed for a Tuesday, man.
okay, I can see a
Like, I mean,
Christmas market
lots of people.
working at like Fort Calgary. So
Yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah.
I could see it totally working. It exists in Vancouver. There's a Christmas market that's right by the um, convention center outside. It's built right next to it, the old one, and it's it's bustling in there. It's packed. You have to pay for tickets to get in. Do you have to pay for tickets to get into your Christmas markets in Germany?
No, bro, you just walk in.
Oh my god! So the one in Vancouver is like $25. $25
That's
just to
insane.
get in, or $20 to get in, right? And then it's still expensive drinks in there, but it's pretty lively and it's nice. They have great music and it looks the part. Um,
It'd be fun to
yeah.
do a deposit program because like also like you can just drink out of a real ceramic mug, and you just pay like a $3 or $5 deposit. And if you don't bring it back, well then you just bought
Yeah.
yourself a tiny souvenir.
Um,
So
that
it'd be
totally
interesting to see if you
exists.
could do it
That's a thing. Yeah.
exactly like they do it in Europe, which like obviously it works.
I think the hard part is the vendors, actually. Like, you need like a schnitzel vendor, and you need this like, you know, great hot dog vendor, smoky vendor, rib vendor, all these kind of people who make great Christmas Germanic food. And I don't think it's easy. I don't think there's that many of them. So I think they're already captured in the Christmas markets that exist in Calgary. But it could be done. I don't think it's that profitable. I wish somebody would do it.
Oh, it's so seasonal. It's just for the love of the game.
I love the game, but it sounds fun. I mean, I get it. I like it. So we went to one. I went to one this year that was by Cross Iron Mills. It was okay. It was by the casino by Cross Iron, and it was in
Didn't
a.
even know there was a casino up there.
Yeah, Jesus. It's like it's the
When
racetrack
did that
casino.
happen?
It's the racetrack
Oh,
casino.
okay.
That one, right? Okay, yeah, yeah. But literally, we're in a barn. Um, yeah, the whole Christmas market was in two barns, and it wasn't the nicest Christmas market, like in terms of, yeah, I don't know, just okay. But that's because it was free entry, and I don't know, just okay. It was, I don't know, mulled wine was good. I don't know. Yeah, I assume what you got over there is a lot better, but I feel like that's
For
very
sure.
traditional, right?
But I'm sure it's also like a labor of love where like there's some shitty committee that probably spent all year planning it, and that was probably like a bitch. Like it probably ran like any condo board. Who knows?
Oh man,
So
dude, I hosted that zombie race, and it is so much work to put together a weekend event. It is so much work. The fact that you have to build it and take it down is just brutal.
and I think the hardest part is like a non-zero part of your success is weather contingent, which is just like putting so much of the result out of your hands when you're working so hard. I think that can be like super hard to
Oh,
deal with too,
totally.
especially if you have a one-off event that could just be totally fucked by rain and then like the fair weather people just don't come.
Yep. So I mean, I look at it and I go, I don't know, when we were designing that event, you were thinking about that event, you want to go balls to the wall and have a great event that has, a great big beer garden, great food trucks and lots of
Do
people.
you have a beer garden there?
Oh yeah, our beer garden was like I feel like we threw one of the best beer garden parties of the city. We had 2,000 people in a beer garden. It was
Yo,
great.
that's sick.
It was a
Love
crazy
that.
party.
So you
Um,
could definitely do it again.
I mean, and I know how it worked, but it was a lot of work.
But I
Okay.
mean, is it hard to get a beer garden going?
Um,
Like, what does that take?
okay. Why did it work? Well, I think back in this obstacle course race day period, most of the people who sign up are girls. So realize that as well. So 60-40 split female to male ratio.
Mm.
Um, so I think that part of it, Village Brewery showed up with their beer truck and was pouring kegs. I think it's all about creating density, actually. You want to have a beer garden that is perfectly built for the size of people that it contains. So you create this, I don't know, 10 people per 100 square foot kind of feeling. And that's the best kind of party. You want to force
Like a
people
club.
into their, you know, interpersonal zone. And that's all of a sudden, it doesn't really matter
You've
what
just
happens.
described how a bar works, but sure.
But the
And
key
then we
would
play the
be,
music loud, so then they have to lean into each other and talk.
but I think the
Why don't
key
we
would,
just make it at night and then turn down the lights too?
but the concept is how do you get it going? How do you make it look fun when there isn't full capacity, right?
You're also just still describing a club.
So what you do is you close. three-quarters of it,
So
and
what
you
if we
slowly
hired
open it.
some seed hot girls to go in there?
Interesting.
You know?
Yes. So what did we
I don't
do?
know.
We literally moved the fence of the beer garden while it was operating, which was ridiculous. That was a
That's
ridiculous
lucky.
endeavor. We literally, I was like, hey, we had like 8 guys. We're like, okay, we have to fucking move these fences, and that
Like
was.
to make it bigger or smaller?
I don't know what we were doing. I think we were. Oh, I know what we did. Okay, we we stole half the porta potties. Okay, this was dumb, but so we had our beer garden, right? But then we had a boatload of porta potties outside of it. Um, that were for the race attendees and people who were part of the race, right? And the beer garden was empty to start, right? Nobody was in there because the whole race was going on. And then we created this 2,000 person beer garden, and we didn't want people to leave to go to the beer gardens. Sorry, to go to the washroom, even though there were some washrooms in there. So what we did was we made more space and annexed like 10 porta potties, and it was just
Smart.
ridiculous. And it worked. It worked.
That's a high agency move, Adil.
It was high agency. Um, yeah, what was I getting at? Events are really hard. Events are not a great business model. I don't
But
recommend.
I'm like a natural event planner myself, and it's just like the payoff is so
Oh yeah,
good. And I
yeah,
think that's
so
what,
good.
when you throw like a fucking epic event, the dopamine and like the glamour from that is just like it makes all that pain worth it, right? Like I mean, fuck, smaller scale, but I mean, some people still talk about like certain ski trips we had that are just like so memorable. But you need to create that network effect, which is always the hardest part. It's like, how do you get the cool kids to come so that the whole thing stays cool?
Yeah, yeah.
I was just thinking that though, because obviously the other thing they do really well here also is beer gardens. And I was riding my bike on the trails to the next city, and we passed like three beer gardens, and it really just felt like it was really easy to have a beer garden. Like honestly, you just have a garden and beer. But I always feel like that would be really tough to do in Calgary for some reason, right? It's like, hey, I just want an enclosed area that people can sit at and they can drink beer while they're like wanting to take a break while they're on their bikes. Like I wonder if you could do one like somehow part way between Canmore and Banff and just put one somewhere and people would just inevitably stop and be like, cool. And then just like lock up their bike and like come have one or two at the beer garden,
Ooh,
you know?
that's a cool idea off the Canmore Banff Trail. It's an interesting idea. I don't,
And that shit is everywhere here.
I don't,
Everywhere.
I don't think there's actually a spot to do it, but maybe you could do it. I don't know. Oh,
That would also be the cool thing. It's like you just ram one in somewhere where one shouldn't be, because then it's like extra special.
yeah, extra special.
Or like, how long could you do it illegally for till like they shut you down? It's like, what if you just sold beer and then had like a porta potty like ratchet strapped to the back of an F-150 and like just made your own illicit beer garden and like served beer to people?
Yeah, I think you could. I don't know. You can get away with a lot of stuff for short periods of time. Um,
Do like a pop-up beer garden on like the hottest summer day. That'd
yeah,
be a good. That's probably a good 10K hustle.
yep. I do notice that bars in general have a lot, yes, young people. Like I think beer's on its way out. Um,
Yep. And young people are broke. Like they can't drink $8 beers. Like I barely can.
I don't. I really hate this. I hate that young people are broke. This is gonna ruin the world. We can't have young people being
Well, they're
broke.
also the thing that comes with being broke is that they're also fucking angry. And I don't blame them. But they're also mad about it.
Yeah.
Because it's like society isn't like built for them, you know?
Yep. It's only gonna get worse. I think. I think it's bad. I don't know how you fix it, but
Especially since the rate cut just happened.
did it just happen?
Yeah, fuck. I thought maybe I was onto something there.
You were calling no rate cut, or are
I
you
was
calling
calling
rate?
no cut. I was
Ah,
getting paid 15 to 1 on it. And I was like, okay,
ooh.
maybe maybe JPOW was just gonna not cut for because they weren't gonna release certain data. And I thought that he maybe wasn't gonna make a decision on incomplete data, but clearly he did.
Hmm. Interesting.
I wasn't saying a rate cut wasn't necessary. I just thought maybe he would wait because of the shutdown to really be sure. That was my whole thesis.
Interesting thesis. Huh. I wasn't really paying attention to this one at all. What did you bet on? You bet on Polymarket, I assume?
Yeah. Couldn't get Kalshi working, and Polymarket now accepts Bitcoin, which made transferring in much easier.
So did you transfer in from your Kraken account? Is that what you did? Like you
Yeah, I
bought
opened a
some
Kraken
Bitcoin?
account just to have Bitcoin, and then I immediately left Kraken.
Nice.
Or I didn't leave it. I mean, I just didn't use it at all, except to use it as an intermediary between bank money, like real fake money, and then. Uh, but I'll probably bet on something else as well. I
Yeah,
mean,
Polymarket's kind of fun to kind of like gamble on. I've been burnt a couple times in a row, and I'm kind of jaded on my last two bets, just because I
well,
don't.
it needs to be. First of all, it's the modern insider trading, right? So it's like Taylor Swift engagement. Well, it's like if you're her friend, you could just write that ticket or whatever. Like, I don't know, whatever that's called, right? You can just make that market. So it's like an easy way to make like millions of dollars with like insider trading. So it definitely needs to be like something where it's not like five guys know the answer and they're just skimming off society. Like you need to have your own edge, or it needs to be something that can't be known ahead of time, kind of thing, because you're on like a special committee or something like that.
Totally.
So I thought maybe the Fed would, because they obviously have to vote on it. So
So what was the last one I got burned on? I bet that DOGE wouldn't be shut down by the end of the year, and I lost on that, and that bugs me a lot actually, because it wasn't shut down. Um, it was kind of one of the persons in the administration announced that it's been sidelined, is kind of what he said in an interview. But I think it's kind of bullshit for the bet to end that way based on the wording of the bet. But this
yeah,
is, yeah, you got to be careful what you bet on, because if it isn't an obvious yes, binary yes or no kind of obvious thing,
it needs to be
oh,
super quantifiable, right?
yeah, any of the gray zone stuff, gotta be careful because there is a lot of weird lines that can occur. Um, but I don't know. It's fun. I mean, hey, have you one thing I've been doing is I've been reading Louis C.K.'s new book. Have you heard that he put out a book?
No, it's fiction. I saw.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember the name. I believe it's like one word.
Yeah,
The
it's a
title of it,
name. It's called Ingram.
Ingram.
Yeah, I've not
No,
read
I'm
a
working
book in
my
a
way.
while, but it's great.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's really good.
Good book.
Yeah.
I'm working my way through a number of books, but that guy's got such a unique mind that I would for sure. I mean, it's a glimpse into his brain, right? And he's obviously like super smart. So,
Yeah. Dude, I mean, he used to write like a full hour of um a comedy set every year. Like he'd throw out all his material and wrote a whole new set every year is what he was doing. And it was impressive how good of a writer and how often he could put out material was. Um,
well, he also made an award-winning movie, and his TV show also was like very well received.
what was his award-winning movie?
Oh, fuck.
I don't know that one.
Can't remember off the top of my head.
I'll have to look
I'll
that one up.
Google it.
But um, I haven't read a novel in a long time. I gotta say, like I keep reading. like I keep reading nonfiction. I keep reading kind of like businessy kind of books, kind of self-help kind of books, kind of I don't know, statistics kind of books. And I haven't read a novel in ages, and I'm really enjoying it. I really like his writing style. It's really nice to have a great book that reads well, that's enjoyable from the start. And I'm not like, painfully reading to see if there's a good part. I don't know. It's been really good.
Nice. Um, so his movie was from 2022 called 4th of July.
Okay.
But one thing I really like about him, he like self distributes as well. So
Yeah.
even as far as like entertainers go, he's thinking out of the box. He's kind of like the system's fucked and I just don't buy into it. So I also respect that as well, I would say.
Yeah. Hard thing to do, but it's awesome that he does that. Yeah, I've bought Louis from his website, his TV show, so I can stream it anytime.
Mhm. I
And
support him
it's
quite a bit as well.
yeah, it's
And then
nice.
to host all your own content, you also kind of need like IT chops a little bit, like, or you need to hire a guy to do that because that's also not easy as well to
Yeah. No,
break away from like the known infrastructure.
yeah, definitely. Oh, that's cool.
Cool. Well, maybe I'll check out his book.
Yeah, I would.
Um, yeah, trying to read more, but these days for me, it's still lots of YouTube. Signed up
Hey,
for a lot of newsletters as well. I feel like newsletters and emails are coming back. I mean, they always have been for the last 5 to 7 years, but it's funny how the pendulum swings, right? You kind of have like the TikTok stuff, but now it's like, oh, long form writing is kind of back. Or like if
mhm.
people have like a message, people are willing to read again.
Are you still reading The
So the
Hustle?
pendulum's
Like,
coming back.
what are you reading on the newsletter?
Um, a lot of business stuff on markets and stuff. I think I'm just kind of naturally drawn to geopolitics and stuff. Um, there's a couple people who write like weekly newsletters that are like pretty good. Macroeconomists. So I discovered a lady named Denise Chisholm who works at Fidelity. She's quite good. Uh, Tom Lee.
Yeah, you mentioned Tom Lee before, yeah.
So these like modern analysts, kind of like Kathy Wood when she first got famous
Hmm.
with ARC, but I would say she's kind of a scammer. But other people who have more longevity also put out that kind of stuff. So it's like I mean everybody's kind of using the same data, and it's really interesting to just see how people interpret it, right? And I would say like economics is still soft art. You're looking at like a bunch of signals and trying to tell a story. And I think some people can see that story much better than others. So I think that's like interesting to me.
Cool.
Yeah. And I'm not saying they're right, but I'm certainly, I don't know. Yeah, interested in people who are seeing the world a little bit differently or thinking for themselves. So instead of just yelling like AI bubble, because like that's what all you hear, people are like fucking, doing their own research, thinking for themselves, and like kind of seeing where things are going. So I think that's kind of interesting. And they're not necessarily like the most famous or most popular people, but you kind of have to have your own sense of like critical judgment to be like, is this person bullshitting or not?
I think that's where quality typically comes out. It's people who aren't the most popular. I find because they have to work harder to get,
Yeah,
reach, they typically put out better content. I think that's just the case. But once you get big enough, you can get a little lazy. I think that's what happens. And things just deteriorate.
that's why people watch college basketball.
Ooh, that's a good point. I've been
So consuming quite a bit of that, and
mhm.
then I think still lots of podcasts and stuff, man. So much good content out there if you just know where to look, have a bit of patience. Yeah.
I've been kind of watching poker recently. Um,
Me too.
like I'm watching Hustler Casino poker live, and I
Mm.
kind of like it in the background. I don't know why. It feels just different. I like that
I
it's
watched
slow paced. I like that it's like it's
Hustler.
live commentating.
Hustler is the LA one.
Yeah.
I watched the one. I watched the one out of. I believe it's Austin, the one that Doug Polk
Yeah. Yeah.
owns with Brad Owens. Uh, so I follow Brad Owen a bit, even though like I literally don't play. I have no clue about GTO, but it's fun to watch because I'm kind of like interested in the personalities, I guess. And then obviously Negranu is posting right now from WSOP Bahamas.
Hmm.
So been watching his vlogs. But that's less poker and more just being like, oh, here's how a fucking rock star lives with his like Barbie blonde wife.
Yeah. Um, I I think this is a new paradigm of like being able to see everybody's cards on a casual kind of game, and then everybody's mic'd up, and then it's cash game, which is a little rare. I like to see that. I feel like I don't know, I like cash game. I feel like it's just so much more action and so much more um
Yeah.
gambling, you
I
know?
think the problem with cash game, like it's obviously solved now. So it's just like who's making the least amount of mistakes? And then I think it's like attracting just a different type of player, right? It's not the intuition people anymore, aside from some of the old school guys like Negranu, I would say. But it's more just like, oh, this guy's autistic and he's memorized all the starting hand tables for every street. So I feel bad because I also watch competitive Scrabble. Don't ask me why. I'm a fucking nerd. And like, these people essentially have memorized the dictionary. And I just feel bad because like these competitive Scrabble players could easily have just learned poker instead for how much they've memorized. And it'd be like a far higher payoff
Hmm.
than every 9-letter word and fewer in two official dictionaries. And then they know like which word is valid based on like what dictionary each tournament's using. It's like, dude, what a waste of time. But I
Yeah.
love Scrabble, so I watch commentary on competitive Scrabble. And then like Scrabble also is like poker because there's like an end game and there's probability because you know like what's left in the bag based on like what's seen. So it's almost like knowing what's left in the deck.
Yeah.
And then like end game Scrabble is straight memorization. There is literally like optimum play and like there's this one guy who once there's 20 tiles or fewer, like there's 7 on your rack, 7 on your opponent's rack, then like 7 in the bag. He basically never fucks up the end game. He's always just playing like the optimum play for like the last 6 turns, and that's so fucking hard. So
Yeah.
hard. Fucking genius.
I watched a
But he
little
could
bit of
be like a
Scrabble.
multi-millionaire poker player. Like why are you playing Scrabble? Doesn't make any sense.
I love the game, I guess. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
the poker, watching poker makes me want to go play it, but I know I don't have the patience anymore to go learn and
And you have to
attempt
lose a lot of
to.
money learning. A lot
Yeah,
of money and time.
I don't really want to do it. Um, but it is interesting to watch. I kind of like the new age of it, how it's working. But yeah, I gotta say,
You know,
I don't have good, I don't understand great range mechanics on how to, memorize everything. To be honest, but yeah,
yeah. You don't have to probably at our level. It's like when you blame the tennis ball and you're playing 3.0.
totally.
Like
Yeah, I don't
it
think you
wasn't
completely
the
have to.
ball.
Yeah, it wasn't the
Um,
ball.
so there's still places to succeed, I think, if you we're well at the top of the learning curve. If you really wanted to, like, you could probably play up to like 510 pretty imperfectly,
I can
I
believe
would
that.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like if you're winning at 5'10", you probably got like a decent life,
So
you know?
you know who Rampage is, right?
Yep.
He was in Calgary live streaming one night.
Okay.
Um, I was out there. He was playing the game at the Stampede Casino, and they have they have like a kind of like a private-ish game once a week.
What's the highest limits
They were
that we have?
playing, I want to say, they were playing 10-20, I think, and I think they went up to 10-20-50, maybe 10-20-40, I guess. You know, kind of forced straddle, kind of minimum buy-in 10 grand. Um, yeah, I
He's
kind of got
American. He's American, so 10 grand American is a 5K game.
exactly. He was out there making content, and I was I went to go play myself. Actually, I wanted to see what was going on. It was interesting because I sort of saw behind the scenes on what he was doing, and really, it seemed like maybe his bigger game was actually his YouTube. Like that game looked way too
Oh,
small for him, and his YouTube and his
100%.
sponsorship was actually way more substantial, right? I
That's
caught,
always true though.
yeah.
I mean,
What
that's true for tennis. Like Federer made way more money with Nike than playing.
Yeah.
And same with Negreanu. Like if you look at his annual cashes, like getting sponsored by GG Poker is way more.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, so I can believe that.
So I think that's true
Um,
for everybody.
yeah, I can see that. Definitely seemed like that way. One thing he mentioned was, I mean, that game does like half Texas Hold'em, half Omaha,
Yeah.
and he was mentioning that nobody watches Omaha online just because it's too confusing and just makes bad content. So, you know, he didn't really
Really?
care to film it as well because like it just doesn't traffic well, right? And I can see that. It's hard
That's
following on the
funny.
hands, right?
But Negreanu films a lot of PLO. Like I would argue he's a better PLO player than No Limit now,
Ah,
just because of
interesting.
like who he is.
Yeah, I can believe that. But
But
I think the way
um,
Rampage does it is he doesn't. I mean, he's showing up to tables that don't have proper filming, right? Like he's only filming his own hand and the board. It's kind of like recaps, which is kind of interesting. Um,
yeah, I know it's hard work. Well, Brad Owen was doing the same, but I started watching him when he was playing like 5'10", and now he's playing like 25-50 in like Doyle's room in Bellagio. So, but it's funny because the pros, I'm pretty sure, still mop the floor with him. Like, it's so funny what the skill gap.
huh.
Like he's like Doug Polk is better than him, I would say, and like Doug Polk, no one would really, aside from Heads Up, I would say the top would consistently take away his money. So
Yeah.
there's the skill cap is still very high.
Huh.
But yeah, it's fun to watch. I think it's super hard to make content because you have to be like, have you ever shot a blog? Like, if you're like, it's hard to do because you kind of have to be like shameless, right? Because you're like filming yourself and talking. You're probably the only guy with a phone filming in what would otherwise be like a pretty normal setting. So I think it's not easy. So I fully respect people who do
Wow.
that.
I forget that you do it occasionally. You are a
Yeah.
blogger. I see your blogs on Instagram. You actually go out and do that. I forget. Man.
It can be hard. And then I always feel for like the travel people. Like travel's a super sexy thing to vlog about, but I think it's like when people hate you. It's like fuck, this guy's filming his food again, or like testing airline seats, you know? But it's like you're on a plane. It's totally fucking quiet, and you're just like, yeah, like the meal service wasn't so good. It's like, dude, that's gonna be so hard to do. Like I
I
cringe for them even when I think about it.
I've had so many like great travel memories and travel interactions with strangers that I always thought would make great blogs. But I realize walking up with a GoPro on my chest or my shoulder or something just ruins it. It doesn't it just never would have happened like that if I, you know, if I was
You
vlogging
need
again.
to be able to disarm the room super
Immediately.
easily. So number one, you have to be like likable.
Totally.
Which okay, stop right there, right? That's hard for a lot of people, camera or not. And then you gotta be like, hey, I just need to shoot a little something. Like, is it okay if I film your face? Do you want to be like a part of this? You know? And so, and I think a lot of people are also just private. Like they're like, how many times have you said to a girl like, "Hey, let's grab a selfie," and then she's just like, "Yeah, wait, wait, wait," and then they like, so that, but like on video, that's even worse because like a lot of people just aren't good on their feet. Like they fucking stutter or they have too many filler words or whatever the case might be. So I think that can be tough, even tougher. So I credit like vloggers also for like they also need to like disarm the entire room that they're in, but also kind of make it still feel like it's authentic, right? Because they don't also want people behaving differently just because they know they're going to be in a video, which also a lot of people fucking do. They like ham it up and or like act with like much more bravado than they normally would because they feel like they need to be like a certain character. So,
Totally. I totally know what you mean. Definitely really hard. I think most people don't want to be on camera. Like most people are just like, no, I don't want to do it. So
bro,
I think
dude,
60% of
I
people
run
say no.
meetings. I run meetings because I'm the boss, and like people don't even want to sit at the front of the table closest to the fucking webcam.
Totally, totally. Yep.
And I go there and I always take the front seat and I'm like, you fucking cowards. That's why I'm your boss. Like, shut up. None of you deserve this.
Yep.
That's a story I tell myself.
So when you do your vlogging, I notice often you don't show your friends as often. Maybe it's like in the last cut of the scene or something. Um, do you push on that a little bit more? Like, do you get your friends out of their comfort zone and get them in your vlog?
Um, some are fine with it and some aren't. But I think I like to basically show like my first person view of how things are going. So I'm usually vlogging something I'm doing by myself. Of course, if I happen to be with someone or I know like the organizer or something like that, then I was like, hey, do you want to do a little something? Then, but again, I also like authenticities, and I feel like the instant you try and pre-bake it, even shooting like an Instagram story, it's already too fake for my liking, right? It's like, hey, can we like do 30 seconds for like my followers? Sounds super pretentious. I have like 400. And it's just like it just already is fake because they're already out of like their natural element.
Yeah, I like that you do that. I forgot how it's been like 2 years, maybe 3 years. How long have you been doing this for?
So I wouldn't even say I've been doing it at all. It's just
I think you do it. I see it. I see it come up every now and again, and I forget that you put an effort there. That's
I
awesome.
forget people really like it when I speak into the camera though. Like yesterday when I went to the embassy, I just did a quick video because I was walking out of my office and like got quite a bit of engagement there. Obviously the content's cool because not everybody gets to do that. But it was just me providing an update. I wasn't even really obviously couldn't film the embassy, which would have been sick, by the way. But
Man, I don't know why
yeah,
I don't have an inclination to do it. I've never done it, to be honest. I've never done a vlog like that. Like I could vlog while I'm building my shed or doing my like renovations and stuff, and I'm sure there would be some interest in what I'm doing, but I just don't do it.
you gotta find some creativity in like if you're doing like really boring shit or like day to day stuff like home renovating or like lots of blogs exist on that.
Totally.
But I think it's like seeing you gotta see like the entertainment in like
Oh yeah.
funny shit. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a lot of spiders in my house, but like one day spiders look like they had babies, and I'm just like, okay, this is crazy. So I started just filming like all the little spiderlings. So it's like dumb shit like that. Like you kind of also have to have like an eye for like, oh, that's weird. Like I'm gonna film that.
Yeah, I think you can't just make boring stuff. You have to make some creativity in it. I can imagine it. I just I don't know. I've never done it before. I haven't popped that cherry. I gotta think about doing that. Huh.
I think you do some cool shit. Like you obviously travel a lot of places. Uh, Here's something interesting, and I think I'll never be able to do this again. Like I went to Berlin yesterday. I'm gonna go to London this weekend for a couple concerts.
Nice.
And then at the end of the month, I'm gonna go visit my friend in Paris. And I've never done like Berlin, London, Paris. I'm like a fashion model, and I probably never will in like to visit those capital cities in the span of 3 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, that's
I think
interesting.
like when I move back to Calgary, I'm just gonna hunker down for a while and just enjoy the city again. Grass is always greener, bro.
Grass is always greener. Yeah. Well, buddy, that was a good blog. Good podcast. I mean, yeah, dude, good catching up. I think we should call
Nice
it there.
catch up. I'll see you in less than a month for my birthday.
Yeah,
So
ski trip.
fucking stoked. All
Fun.
right. Catch you later.